Hey guys, so you're back, right? We got some exciting stuff to talk about today. Now, when you hear the topic, you may be a little, whoo, that's a heavy one. But trust me, it's really simple and we're gonna get through it really quickly. So today's topic is relationships. Oh, so what is a relationship? A relationship is when you're connected to somebody or you're being connected to the person. Now, there could be friendship, boyfriend, girlfriend, I like to say courting, and marriage. So when you look at it like that, when I say relationship, whichever one applies to you, that is the one you think about. So what relationships look like to some of us is this. You see someone maybe in your job and you only talk to them in your job. What about those that you only have one topic conversations with? Where you can only talk about this one specific topic, and if it changes from that, you're like, I don't really have anything to add to this. I know right now you're thinking and something or somebody may have popped up in your head and you're like, yes, I know who you mean. If you only talk to that person about one thing or one topic, is that person really a friend? Is that person someone that you could really say that you have a relationship with? And even if you look at it where, let's look at a boyfriend-girlfriend aspect or a marriage aspect, there are some conversations that we just don't want to have because we're so afraid that it ends up in argument and, just unnecessary debates. So let's say you have a house. Now, in a house, there are many different rooms. There's the living room, the bedroom, the kitchen, dining room. But let's say you decide to only stay in one room, right? Let's say you only decide to stay in the living room and you're going to have to go to the kitchen. But guess what? You're only staying in the living room. So there's no sustenance. Also, you're not going to be able to sleep properly because the place for sleeping is the bedroom. You're not going to be able to bathe because there's no bathroom. You only stay in the living room. And that's what happens to a lot of relationships today. They're one-room relationships, which means there's only certain places in the house that is safe for conversation or that you feel comfortable being around the person. Anywhere else, guess what? Things change. You start feeling uncomfortable. You start feeling heavy. And guess what? That's not living. That's surviving. If your relationship looks like that, this is what you gotta do. To open up the doors to your house or to be able to open up your relationship to what it's supposed to be is going to require love. And you're like, but I know what love is, right? I wouldn't be in a relationship with this person if I didn't feel like some sort of love for them. But no, I'm not talking about the love that the world shows. I'm talking about a love that is greater. Talking about God's love, Christ's love. Christ's love is the love that is going to open up your relationship to be better. Putting God's love in your relationship is going to be tough. The reason I say that is look at how Christ showed us his love. It was through his sacrifice. Bringing it back to your relationship today is going to require a lot of sacrifice. It's going to require you to put God's love in your relationship. So that's going to look like you having difficult conversations. That's going to look like you having not debates, but discussions. Rather than just arguing, you actually sit and try understanding what the other person is trying to say. So in your relationship, it's going to look different for each of us. If you're a friend with somebody, if they have a hobby that you may not like, guess what? Ask about it. Maybe get to understand why he likes that hobby. Now let's look at a more difficult type of conversation where it's marriage or boyfriend-girlfriend. That's going to look like where when you correct her or him, you don't come across as condemning. Condemning is hate. Correction is love. In the Bible, Christ uses the word for correction, reproof, and also to encourage us as well. If God is a part of our relationship, that is what it's going to look like in our relationship as well. Also, you're going to have to do things you don't want to do. So let's say that how your significant other maybe likes hugs and you don't. Guess what? For that person to understand your love, you got to hug them, right? You got to spend time with them. You got to understand their love language and you got to speak to them through their love language. Otherwise, they're not going to see that you love them. And that is what Christ does for each of us. If you think about it, we all have a relationship with Christ. But in our relationship, he always does what is right for us. He loves us the exact same way that we need. And he's going to love each of us different because we're all different people. So I want you to also think about that when you're dealing with the other person that you're connected to, that they're different from you and they're going to require a different type of love. It's God's love, but the way that you show it is going to be different. So stop living in that one-room relationship and open up your life and your house to God's love, so that your relationship could stop being a one-room relationship and actually become a home. So I hope this was able to help somebody. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and also place a comment down below if you enjoyed it. Thank you.